Thank you very much to Peter Cook. And to finish on a low note, here, apparently on probation from Room 101, is a burst of the UK's entry for the 1965 Eurovision Song Contest. Cue the man with the teeth.
I'll never hurt you or make you cry. Love will grow stronger as years go by. Forever you'll be the one girl for me. I'll love you until I die. So you must say wonderful things to me. I think you're wonderful. Say wonderful things to me. Especially, I love you.
Hello, it's Lenny Henry here, and this is a trailer for Comic Relief. You know, I've been involved since I was about, this age, and I suspect I'll still be cracking on when I reach this age. And the reason is this.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time?
It's amazing what a difference a day makes.
Comic Relief, March the 17th. Help us make a difference.
On tonight's Late Show, a writer in hiding, Taslima Nasreen, talks about the fatwa that threatens her life. Are the Brits really coming? We ask whether the new British pop explosion can conquer the world. And Rory Bremner, in yet another guise, talks about his passion for sculpture. That's the Late Show, tonight at 11:15.
This is BBC2. Now Newsnight.
I place myself, I say to the honourable gentleman, alongside 100% of the people in Northern Ireland, and believing it is right to take action to move out of the spiral of despair that had existed there and move towards a possibility where we might have a permanent peace. I know it will be difficult.
Good evening. It had taken the British and Irish governments 2 years to prepare the framework document. It took only a couple of minutes for some unionists to rubbish it. Many nationalists are delighted by plans which, for the first time since the island was partitioned, subject to agreement, give Dublin an executive role in Northern Ireland.
Here in Belfast, frameworks for the future could be headed for Book of the Month, as thousands delivered to post offices are snapped up by people determined to make up their own minds about this plan for their future. Tonight, here in the studio, members of the unionist community, constitutional and economics experts will put their questions to the Northern Ireland Secretary, Sir Patrick Mayhew.
And what of the minority community in Northern Ireland? Martha Carney is in Derry.
While much of today's focus has been on unionist reaction, it's the attitude of Republicans which determine whether the IRA ceasefire continues. I've been in Londonderry talking to Republicans about their demands and the prospects for a continuing peace.
I'll be talking to the leader of the SDLP, John Hume, about the price of peaceful politics. The Joint Framework Document is a very boring name for an astonishingly radical piece of paper. In 37 pages, it lays out an entirely new political environment for Northern Ireland. Its authors hope it has something for everyone, and suggestions for far-reaching constitutional change are carefully lightened by reassurances. Both British and Irish Prime Ministers repeatedly denied that it was a blueprint, just a set of ideas, they said. But both governments have undertaken to make constitutional changes, with Dublin giving up its territorial claim to the north, while London agrees to change British law to include a commitment to accept the will of the majority in Northern Ireland. It's been a while since the Prime Minister had anything to beam about. His confidence in the document was evident as he posed with the Taoiseach. Both men emphasised it wasn't a blueprint. Progress could only be made by consent.
We seek to help peace, but we are very well aware that only the people of Northern Ireland are able to deliver that peace. So let me say directly to them at the outset, these are our ideas that I present this morning, but the future's up to you. You have an opportunity now which hasn't been there for many years, an opportunity to work together to build a better future and a lasting peace.
Predictably, they'd condemned the plan before it was published. There was reassurance for the Unionists.
Just as people cannot be held within the Union against their will, so equally they will never be asked to leave it in defiance of the will of the majority.
The Taoiseach wanted to claim that no one side was favoured.
The proposals will thus challenge the two traditions on this island, but will do so in an even-handed way. Neither tradition need fear the contents of the document. As I have emphasised at every appropriate opportunity, it is a framework for discussion and not a blueprint to be imposed over the heads of anyone.
The document, entitled A New Framework for Agreement, says the British government will reaffirm that they will uphold the democratic wish of a greater number of people of Northern Ireland on the issue of whether they prefer to support the Union or a sovereign united Ireland. This new approach will be enshrined in British constitutional legislation. That'll mean either replacing or amending the 1920 Government of Ireland Act. On the other side, changes in the Irish constitution will be such that no territorial claim of right to jurisdiction in Northern Ireland contrary to the will of a majority of people is asserted. That means changing Articles 2 and 3 of the Irish Constitution. The document promises a new 90-member Northern Ireland Assembly and, most controversially, the creation of a cross-border body with both consultative and executive powers.